Hello, everyone. Welcome to Talk Talk Speak podcast. Today, we're whisking you away on a fascinating armchair trip to Kumamoto, Japan.
That sounds great. Kumamoto's a fantastic spot.
Yeah. We've delved into some really good travel writing to bring you the highlights of this, captivating city.
Right.
Our mission to uncover the most interesting and useful nuggets, especially for those of you learning English and, dreaming of your next adventure.
Travel is such a great way to learn, isn't it? Practical stuff.
Totally. We'll be having some fun exploring maybe some practical English phrases you can use while soaking in the local culture there.
Good idea.
So get ready to discover historical marvels, serene gardens, some delicious food that might just surprise you.
Oh yeah, definitely some unique food.
And of course, the one and only Kuma-mon.
Can't forget Kuma-mon.
It's going to be an exciting and hopefully super accessible journey through the city.
It certainly will be. And what's really interesting about Kumamoto is how your travel experience kind of begins right when you arrive at Kumamoto Station.
Ah, okay. So it's more than just a train station.
Yeah, exactly. It's not just like a place trains arrive and depart. It's really the city's welcoming point, its gateway.
Right. Our sources really emphasize it as this key hub, where the super speedy Kyushu Shinkansen meets local lines like the JR Kagoshima and Hohi lines.
That's the one. But like you said, it sounds like it's become much more than just a transport hub these days.
How so?
Well, the recent redevelopment has really elevated the whole area. It's now incredibly convenient, loads of shopping, places to eat right there.
Oh, nice. That's handy after a train journey.
Definitely. And what's really telling is that locals now consider it a highly desirable place to live. That really speaks volumes about Kumamoto's ongoing efforts to, revitalize and create a great urban environment.
Wow, okay. So it sounds like the ideal launch pad for any Kumamoto adventure then. Especially with that seamless connection from the Shinkansen to the local streetcars, the Chiri, the Shiden, and buses that crisscross the city.
Absolutely. Super easy to get around from there.
Okay, so we've arrived at Kumamoto Station. Where should we point our imaginary compass first for, a good dose of history?
Right. Well, to truly step back in time in Kumamoto, there's no better place to start than Kumamoto Castle.
Ah, the castle.
Yeah, often affectionately called the resilient Black Lion. It ranks as one of Japan's 3 great castles, and its story is, absolutely compelling.
Oh, I've heard so much about it. It was the vision of the legendary Karo Kiyomasa, right? Construction kicked off in 1601. 7 years. That's quite the undertaking.
It really was. A huge project for its time.
So what's one of the most, unforgettable things about it, visually?
Without a doubt, I'd say it's the Mushigaishi stone walls.
Mushigaishi.
Now, Mushigaishi translates to something like warrior repellent. And these aren't your average walls. They feature these incredibly clever curved designs.
Curved how?
They start gentle at the bottom, but get steeper towards the top, making them practically impossible for even the most skilled climbers think ninjas maybe to get a grip.
Yeah.
It really showcases Kiyomasa's strategic brilliance.
Warrior repellent walls. Wow, that paints a vivid picture of some serious defense. And the castle has certainly seen its share of challenges, hasn't it? Our sources mention the Southwestern War and the more recent devastating 2016 Kumamoto earthquake.
Precisely. It's been through significant trials, yeah. And each time it has demonstrated remarkable resilience. The fact that the main tower, the Tio, the Tenshukaku, has been so meticulously repaired and reopened in 2021, that stands as a powerful symbol of Kumamoto's enduring spirit.
That's incredible. And isn't there a symbolic giant ginkgo tree on the grounds planted by Kiyomasa himself?
That's right. It's like a living testament to the castle's long history, still standing there.
Amazing. And Kiyomasa, he did more than just build castles, didn't he?
Oh, absolutely.
Awesome.
His contributions extend far beyond just this impressive castle. He also played a vital role in flood control that's Kyonkyo, Chisui, and land reclamation. Kuruk, Kaikon really laying the groundwork for the Kumamoto we see today. He was a real city builder.
So after Kiyomasa, the Su, the Hosokawa clan, they took over and continued to shape its history.
Correct. They ruled for a long period.
And then the Southwestern War. It's kind of hard to reconcile the beauty we imagine with its past as a site of conflict.
It was a significant location during that war, yeah. Interestingly, the main castle buildings, including the main tower and the Hanmaru-guten Palace, were unfortunately destroyed by fire just before the main battles took place.
Oh, really? So the fighting wasn't inside the main keep?
Not in the keep itself, no. But those incredible defensive walls you mentioned, the Mushigaishi, they still played a strategic role in the siege.
Let's go back to those amazing walls for a moment, the mushigeshi. Our sources also mention something called Nio no Ishigaki, kushitsu, two styles of stone walls. What's that about?
Ah, good point. Neo no Ishigaki refers to the fact that you can actually see two distinct styles of stonework in the castle walls.
Oh, hey.
It shows different construction periods and techniques. It's like the stones themselves tell a story of how the castle evolved over time. You can literally see the difference where older, rougher walls meet newer, more refined ones.
That's fascinating, like reading history in the stones. And when you consider the original scale, our sources say 49 turrets and 29 gates. It must have been absolutely massive.
Oh, truly formidable. And even though parts of it are lost to time, thankfully some original structures like the the Yudo turret still stand proudly. It's actually designated an important cultural property.
That's great that some parts survived. And then there's that almost unbelievable story of the miracle one-stone wall after the 2016 earthquake, the Itamaru Gokaya Gura turret.
Oh, that image. It was incredible, wasn't it? That single cornerstone holding up the entire damaged turret. It truly became a potent symbol of hope and resilience for everyone in Kumamoto after such a devastating event.
Just amazing. And the reopening of the main keep, the 10 in 2021, that must have been a huge moment.
Absolutely. It was meticulously restored. And importantly, they incorporated modern earthquake-resistant technology and improved accessibility, like adding elevators, a real blend of preserving history and looking to the future.
That's fantastic. So, for anyone planning a visit, which sounds like a must-do, what's the best way to get to Kumamoto Castle? And are there any, insider tips for viewpoints?
Okay, practical stuff. The city tram, the AA, is your most convenient option. Super easy. Just hop off at you stop, Kumamotojo, Shiakushomi.
Got it. Tram stop.
For some truly spectacular panoramic views, definitely make your way to Kato Shrine, which is actually within the castle grounds.
Oh, a shrine inside.
Yeah. Or another great spot is the 14th floor observation deck of the Kumamoto City Hall nearby. It offers a fantastic perspective looking down onto the castle complex.
City Hall, 14th floor. Good tip.
And don't miss a relaxing stroll through Nidomaru Park, just below the main keep. It's especially breathtaking in springtime with all the cherry blossoms. Perfect for a walk.
It sounds like Kumamoto Castle is so much more than just an old castle. It's like a living chronicle of Kumamoto's whole journey.
That's a great way to put it. From Kiyomasa's grand vision through the Hosokawa era, the trials of war and natural disaster, and that inspiring spirit of community-led recovery, it's all there.
Okay, after soaking all that history in, maybe we need something a bit more peaceful. Where can we head for some tranquility?
For a complete change of pace, yes, Suizenji Garden is an absolute must-see.
Suizenji Jojin.
Okay. Our sources describe it as a refined Momoyama-style strolling garden. It was created by the Hosokawa lords over 3 generations, starting way back in 1632. Think serene ponds, beautifully sculpted landscapes, and just an atmosphere of pure calm.
Momoyama style. What does that mean exactly?
Well, the Momoyama period, roughly late 16th century, was known for quite dynamic and often grand garden designs.
Huh?
They often integrated natural elements in really artistic ways. Suizenji is a beautiful example of that later refinement.
Ah, okay. Elegant. So what are some of the standout features that visitors can look forward to there?
Definitely the central pond.
Huh.
It's fed by remarkably clear spring water that originates all the way from Mount Esso.
From the volcano. Wow.
Yeah. And then there's the iconic Fuji Tsukiyama, a perfectly formed little hill that mirrors the shape of Mount Fuji. It's truly a photographer's dream.
A mini Mount Fuji. I bet that's popular.
It really is. You'll also find the Izumi Shrine, which is dedicated to the Hosokawa family lords, and the Kokindenju no Ma tea house. That tea house has a pretty fascinating history itself.
So the garden started as the tea house and ochaya for Lord Hosokawa Tadatoshi, and then it was expanded later.
Exactly. His successor, Hosokawa Tsunetoshi, expanded it and gave it its rather poetic name, Zhoujun. It was inspired by a verse from the famous Chinese poet Pao Yuanming.
That's lovely. And I read the design is actually meant to evoke the scenery of the 53 stations of the ancient Tokaido Road, like the famous highway.
It is such a clever and artistic concept, isn't it? It's all about capturing these famous landscapes in miniature form as you stroll around the pond.
That is really cool. And that spring water from Aso, it keeps a consistent temperature.
Yeah, around 18 degrees Celsius, apparently. And it's incredibly clear. Our sources even mention you might see these ethereal, misty scenes hovering over the pond in winter because of the water temperature. It must be truly enchanting.
Oh, wow. And that meticulously crafted mini Mount Fuji sounds just incredible. What else is in the pond?
Koi?
Hmm?
Oh, yes. Plenty of colorful koi carp. And keep an eye out for the auspicious white soft-shelled turtle de Rensipon. Seeing one is considered good luck.
Okay, look for the white turtle. Got it. Now, tell me more about that tea house, the Kokin Denju no Ma.
Right, so this tea house is steeped in literary history. It was actually originally located in the Kyoto Imperial Palace grounds and was moved here in the Meiji era.
Moved from Kyoto. Wow.
Yeah, and its significance lies with Hosokawa Yusai, a renowned scholar and warrior, an ancestor of the Kumamoto Hosokawa lords. He supposedly taught the secrets of the Kokin Wakashu, a really important collection of early Japanese waka poetry, to imperial princes in this very building.
That's incredible history. So you can actually
Yeah.
go inside.
Yes. And you can imagine enjoying some traditional matcha tea and maybe some local caseta sweets there, soaking in the same garden views. It's a great way to sort of connect with that history, maybe practice ordering matcha to okachi o one ga shimasu.
Nice. That sounds like a truly immersive cultural experience. Nature, literature, history, all in one place. And the Izumi Shrine, you mentioned it, honors the Hosokawa lords.
Yes, and also the remarkable Lady Hosokawa Gracia, who has her own fascinating story. The shrine was built relatively later, actually, to offer prayers for recovery after the Southwestern War.
Ah, okay. And I noticed a mention of longevity water there. Is that something people drink?
Yes, the shrine has a spring called Chuju no Mizu longevity water. It's believed to have health-giving properties, so you'll see people partaking. And another point of resilience, the main torii gate, which was damaged in the 2016 earthquake, has been beautifully reconstructed using local Nengo cypress wood.
Good to hear. Are there other little spots to look out for in the garden?
Definitely. There are the vibrant red torii gates of a small Inari shrine climbing up a little hill, the so-called matchmaking nagi tree, a traditional no stage where performances are sometimes held. And of course, beautiful seasonal flowers, plum, cherry blossoms, azaleas, maples, adding color throughout the year.
Sounds absolutely lovely. So if we're looking for this peaceful escape in Kumamoto, how do we find our way to Suizenji Garden?
Again, the city tram is your friend. Super easy. Just get off at the Yuju Station, Suizenji-kun Station. It's just a short and pleasant walk from there.
Okay, Suizenji-kun stop. Easy enough.
Yeah. The entrance fee is quite reasonable, around 400 yen for adults, usually. And you'll probably want to allow, say, 30 to 40 minutes, maybe a bit longer if you have tea, to fully appreciate its beauty. It's just a wonderful blend of natural artistry and cultural heritage, really embodying the history of the Hosokawa family and Kumamoto's connection to nature.
Okay, from that tranquil oasis, let's maybe head back towards the castle area and explore Sakurano Baba Joseon. That sounds like a different kind of experience altogether.
It really is. Situated right at the foot of Kumamoto Castle, Sakurano Baba Joseon provides a wonderful glimpse into what a lively Edo-era town might have felt like. It's fantastic for sampling local food and finding unique souvenirs.
So it's kind of like stepping back in time, but with shops and food, conveniently close to the castle.
Exactly. Our sources highlight two main parts, the Susu Wakawakokusa Museum and the Ishi Sakura no Koji, which is like a themed shopping and dining street.
Wakawakukuza Museum. What's that like?
It offers a really engaging way to learn about Kumamoto's history. They use immersive stuff like VR, videos, and captivating live performances by actors in period costume to bring the past to life. More interactive than just reading panels, you know.
Oh, that sounds fun. And Sakura no Koji, that's the street part.
Yeah, that's the charming main street. It's lined with about 23 shops and restaurants, all designed to evoke the atmosphere of an Edo period castle town. It looks the part.
So the whole place, Joseon, was specifically created to showcase Kumamoto's food culture, history, and just the general appeal of the castle area.
Precisely its purpose, to give visitors a concentrated taste of Kumamoto right next to its main landmark.
What kind of interactive experiences can we expect at Wakawakusa? You mentioned VR.
Yeah, it's designed as this hands-on historical and cultural experience where you can really watch, listen, touch, and even move. So expect those engaging historical videos, maybe some theatrical performances bringing key moments or figures to life, and yes, possibly virtual reality experiences that transport you back to, say, the castle town centuries ago. Some facilities might even offer traditional costume rentals for that full immersive photo op.
Haha. Okay, sounds like fun for visitors of all ages. And Sakura no Koji 23 shops, you said? A mix of restaurants and souvenir shops offering all sorts of Kumamoto-only treasures.
That's right. A really nice selection.
What kind of local specialties might tempt our taste buds there? Any specific recommendations from the sources?
Well, you can find a wonderful array of local flavors. They mentioned some Joseon exclusive sea urchin croquettes.
Sea urchin croquettes. Interesting.
Yeah. And the traditional ikinari dango, those are delicious steamed buns with sweet potato and red bean paste inside. A real local classic.
Ikinari dango. Sounds good.
You'll also find dishes featuring the prized local akagyu beef and regional comfort food like dago jiru, which is a hearty dumpling soup, and takana meshi rice mixed with flavorful pickled mustard greens.
Okay, lots to try. And for souvenirs.
Definitely look for karashi rankin, that spicy lotus root we're going to talk more about later, and locally brewed sake or shochu. Lots of Kumamoto-specific goods.
It sounds like a perfect place to just immerse ourselves in local culture and pick up some unique reminders of our trip. And it's great to know there's a comprehensive tourist information center there, too.
Yeah, with multilingual support and friendly volunteer guides, apparently. That's always a huge help for travelers navigating a new place, finding your feet, asking where can I find,
Absolutely. And getting there. Is it easy from the castle or the tram?
Super easy. You can easily walk from the main castle area or the city tram stops nearby. There's also a convenient Kumamoto Castle loop bus called Shiromaguren that stops right there.
Shiromaguren bus, okay.
And apparently there's even a free shuttle sometimes from the Ninomaro parking lot, which is part of the castle grounds. So very well connected.
It sounds like Sakurana Baba Joseon has really succeeded in creating this vibrant hub. It seamlessly blends history, local food, and shopping in a really convenient and atmospheric setting right next to the castle. Perfect combination.
Yeah, it really works well together.
Okay, after all that exploring, I'm definitely getting hungry in my imagination. Let's talk about food. Kumamoto boasts a truly unique culinary scene, doesn't it? From the intriguing horse meat to distinctive ramen and those traditional snacks that sound like a real flavor adventure.
Indeed. Kumamoto's food is definitely a highlight. Let's delve into some of the must-try culinary experiences. And first up, probably the most famous, or maybe infamous depending on your perspective, horse meat, or basashi-sar.
Basashi, right. And for a truly top-tier experience, our sources consistently point to one place, Suganoya.
Suganoya Zudu. That's the name you hear again and again for high-quality wasashi. They have a long and prestigious history, yeah. Plus, their locations near Ginzadori, the main shopping street, and also near Kumamoto Station make them really accessible for visitors.
Convenience is good, but you said high quality. What makes them stand out?
Well, it's their unwavering commitment to quality that truly sets them apart. They actually operate their own horse ranches, so they control the whole process. And get this, they were the very first in the world to receive SQF certification for raw horse meat.
SQF, what's that?
It's a really rigorous global standard for food safety and quality management. So getting that for raw horse meat is a huge deal. It really speaks to their standards for freshness and safety, gives you confidence,
Wow, SQF certification for raw horse meat. That is a serious commitment. So what kind of cuts do they offer? Is it just like steak?
Well, it's much more varied than that. They offer a fascinating range of cuts. There's the lean red meat, akami. Then you have marbled cuts like shimofuri. There are rarer parts too, like futaigo, which has layers of red meat and fat from the belly area, and even kune, or tategami, which is the fatty meat from the main area.
Main fat. Wow. It sounds like a whole new world of flavors and textures to explore.
It truly is. Each cut offers a distinct culinary experience. You might find some are surprisingly delicate, others richer.
And how do you typically eat it?
Traditionally, it's best enjoyed quite simply. Thinly sliced, served with a slightly sweet Kyushu-style soy sauce, maybe a touch of grated ginger, and a hint of garlic. Let the flavor of the meat shine through.
Okay, simple is best. And surprisingly, our sources mentioned horse meat is considered quite healthy.
Yeah, that's right. It's high in protein, high in iron, and actually relatively low in fat and calories compared to, say, beef.
That's good to know. Our sources even touched upon the history of eating horse meat in Kumamoto. It goes back to Kato Kiyomasa again.
Apparently so. The story goes that during his campaigns in Korea, his troops ran low on food and resorted to eating their horses. Later, back in Kumamoto, it became established as a source of nutrition, especially known for its warming properties. So it's not just some recent culinary trend, it's deeply rooted in the region's history.
Fascinating. And Kumamoto still leads Japan in horse meat.
Yep, highest levels of both horse meat production and consumption in the country. It's a true local specialty. And Suganoya's farm-to-table approach is pretty impressive. They have ranches in Canada as well as Japan, use pure Aso spring water for the horses, special feed.
Wow, all the way to Canada.
Yeah, and then there's that internationally SQF-certified processing facility we mentioned. They really oversee every single step.
Okay, they sound like the place to go. For someone curious to try basashi for the first time, what would you recommend ordering at Suganoya to get a good introduction without being overwhelmed?
I would definitely suggest the Moriyawa's Kichi. That's the assorted platter.
Moriyawa's.
It's the perfect way to sample a variety of different cuts side by side. You'll likely get akami, lean, shimofuri, marbled, maybe shoro, fattier belly, rozu, loin, higher fillet, perhaps futaigo, layered belly, and kunatatagami, main fat. It lets you really appreciate the nuances and find what you like. You could just point or say, sumimasen, basashi no moro-ase o wanegashimasu. Excuse me, the assorted horse meat sashimi, please.
Perfect, thanks. And they also offer other tempting horse meat dishes, right? Not just raw.
Oh yeah, things like yuko, like a tartare, tataki, lightly seared, steaks, even horse meat shabu-shabu and sushi. Lots of ways to try it if raw isn't your thing.
It sounds like Suganoya has really made this traditional, maybe slightly intimidating food really accessible and trustworthy for visitors wanting an authentic Kumamoto flavor experience.
Exactly. Balancing tradition with modern quality and safety.
Okay, shifting gears now to another Kumamoto culinary icon, ramen. Everyone loves ramen, right? And our sources spotlight one place in particular, Kokute ramen.
Kokute, yeah, established way back in 1957, so it's a true legend in the Kumamoto ramen scene, a real institution.
So what makes their ramen special? Is it the broth?
It starts with the broth, yes. Their signature tonkotsu pork bone broth is quite unique because it's apparently made exclusively from pork heads.
Just the heads, not the other bones.
Seems so, according to our sources. This gives it a really rich flavor, but it's often described as surprisingly light or delicate compared to some other really heavy tonkotsu styles.
Interesting. And then there's that seemingly magical ingredient, the burnt garlic oil.
Manu. Yes, the mayu. Our sources emphasize this as the defining characteristic of Kumamoto-style ramen. Kokute makes their own homemade burnt garlic oil, and it adds this incredible depth, aroma, and complexity to the broth. It's nutty, slightly bitter, smoky, really distinctive.
Sounds amazing. And the noodles.
They use medium-thick, straight noodles that are apparently very smooth, perfect for picking up that broth and garlic oil. And then there's their most visually striking bowl, the tamago iri ramen.
Tamago iri, egg-filled ramen.
Yeah, but not just any egg. It comes topped with 2 raw egg yolks nestled right in the center.
2 raw yolks. Wow, okay, that's different. So how does Kumamoto ramen generally compare to other famous styles, like maybe Hakata ramen from Fukuoka?
Good question. Generally, Kumamoto ramen features a milder, perhaps slightly creamier tonkotsu broth compared to the often very rich, pork-heavy Hakata style. The noodles tend to be a bit thicker than the typical thin Hakata noodles. And of course, that distinctive burnt garlic oil, mayu, or sometimes fried garlic chips, is a key feature, which you don't usually find in Hakata ramen. You'll also often find toppings like kikkoridge mushrooms, woodier mushrooms for texture.
Okay, so milder broth, thicker noodles, garlic oil, maybe kikkoridge. Got it. And Kokute takes pride in doing everything homemade shanjikase.
Very much so. From that flavorful pork head broth simmered in traditional large pots, seidagama, to their expertly crafted burnt garlic oil made by skilled artisans, shokunin, and even their unique egg-free noodles.
Egg-free noodles. That's fantastic news for people with allergies or dietary restrictions.
Yeah, they make them in-house, using carefully stone-ground flour, adjusting the recipe based on humidity. And they also have carefully prepared chashu, that delicious braised pork topping, using a secret sauce recipe passed down through generations. Real dedication to craft.
It really sounds like it. So back to the tamago iri ramen with the 2 raw yolks. How are you supposed to eat that? Do you just mix it all in?
The recommended way, apparently, is to gradually break the yolks and stir them into the hot soup as you eat.
Ah, okay. So it changes the flavor as you go.
Exactly. It subtly transforms the broth's richness and flavor profile as you work your way through the bowl. Kind of an interactive eating experience.
Clever. But what if someone's not keen on raw egg yolks?
No problem. They also offer the option of a standard soft-boiled egg, ni tamago, instead, if raw yolks aren't your preference. Plus, they have other tempting ramen variations like chashu ramen, extra pork, or spicy minced pork ramen, and delicious side dishes like gyoza dumplings, and even a unique homemade soy milk pudding for dessert.
Soy milk pudding, interesting finish, and it's conveniently located too.
Yep, very handy. Approximately a 7-minute walk from GR Kumamoto Station's main exit. So easy to find after arriving or before leaving.
Good to know. Any tips for visiting? Like, is it super busy?
It is a popular spot, yeah. So our sources advise you might encounter queues, especially during peak lunch or dinner hours. Worth being prepared for a short wait. And it's good to know that you can usually specify your preferred amount of garlic oil when you place your order. Maybe ask for less. tsukuname if you're unsure.
Okay, maybe start with less garlic oil first time. Good tip. Kokurte really sounds like it achieves that perfect harmony of traditional Kumamoto ramen elements with their own high-quality, meticulously prepared ingredients. No wonder it's a beloved choice for both locals and visitors.
Definitely captures that Kumamoto soul flavor.
Okay, from the comforting warmth of ramen, let's venture into something a little more challenging. Unique Karashi Rankin at Murakami Karashi Rankin shop.
Yes. Karashi Rankin Guryu is definitely a one-of-a-kind traditional Kumamoto snack, maybe even an acquired taste for some. And Murakami Karashi Rankin shop, which has been around since 1955, is an excellent, well-respected place to give it a try.
So break it down for us. What exactly is Karashi Rankin?
Okay, imagine a whole lotus root Rankin, which has lots of holes running through it naturally. They take that, and they carefully stuff those holes with a paste made from spicy Japanese mustard karashi mixed with miso paste.
Spicy mustard and miso inside the lotus root holes.
Exactly. Then the whole stuffed lotus root is coated in a vibrant yellow batter, usually colored with turmeric or gardenia fruit, and then it's deep fried until it's golden and crisp.
Wow, that sounds intense. Spicy mustard and miso deep fried in lotus root, it's certainly an adventure for the taste buds. And Murakami apparently stays true to traditional methods, uses local lotus root.
They do. They're known for their commitment to traditional handmade methods. They use locally grown Kumamoto Fuyo lotus root, which is prized for its crisp texture, and they make their own special barley miso for that distinctive filling. Very artisanal.
And you can actually make it there.
Yes. What's really fascinating is that they offer a hands-on Karashi Rankin making experience right there at their main shop in the Shinmachi area. So you can learn how it's made, stuff the lotus root yourself, batter it, maybe even fry it, and take your creation home.
You can make your own. That's a fantastic way to connect with the local food culture. Probably need to book that, though.
Yeah, reservations are usually recommended. You could have something like Karashi Rankin Zukuri Taken Oyaku Shitai Desu. I'd like to reserve the Karashi Rankin making experience.
Great phrase. Now, our sources mentioned Karashi Rankin also has a historical connection. Back to the Hosokawa lords again.
That's the generally accepted origin story, yes. Yeah. Linked to the third Hosokawa lord, Tadatoshi, back in the Edo period. Apparently he was frail, and this dish was suggested by a Zen monk as a nutritious and strengthening food, possibly because lotus root was considered medicinal and the spiciness invigorating.
Fascinating link between food and health back then. So the key components are that crisp Kumamoto lotus root, the spicy mustard miso filling, and the yellow batter.
Those are the essentials. The batter often includes things like wheat flour, broad bean flour, and turmeric powder for that distinctive sunny color and texture.
And the flavor profile. What should someone expect when they bite into it?
It's quite distinctive. You first get that sharp sun, that characteristic nasal kick from the Japanese mustard. It can be quite potent.
Okay, brace yourself for the sun.
Yeah. But then that's followed and balanced by the savory sweetness of the miso paste, and all of that is contrasted with the really satisfying crunchiness of the lotus root itself, plus the crispy fried batter. It's a complex mouthful.
Spicy, yet makes you want to eat more. That's apparently what Murakami aims for with their flavor balance.
That's their goal, yes. Yeah. And they have little tricks, like apparently leaving the thin skin on the lotus root helps the batter adhere better during frying. Little details from generations of experience. The shop in Shinmachi has been run by the third and fourth generations, focusing on that handmade quality.
That's real heritage. And for those who might be a little hesitant about the full-on spiciness?
Good point. Murakami has recognized that maybe not everyone wants that intense kick, so they also offer some milder, more approachable creative options, like Karashi Rankin croquettes, which are probably less intense, and even a Karakoro burger using it.
A Karashi Rankin burger. Okay, that sounds like a fun modern twist, a good way to gently introduce yourself to the flavor, maybe.
Exactly, a gateway Karashi Rankin.
So once you have it, maybe you bought a whole one or made one. What's the best way to serve and eat it?
It's typically sliced into rounds, maybe about 5 millimeter to 1 centimeter thick. You can certainly eat it plain to fully experience that unique flavor combination. Or, if you find the spiciness a bit strong, try it with a dollop of Japanese mayonnaise. The creaminess helps mellow out the mustard's kick quite nicely.
Mayo. Okay. Good tip for the heat sensitive. And it's good with drinks.
Oh, yeah. It makes a fantastic appetizer, or atsumami, especially paired with a cold beer or some local Kumamoto shochu. The spiciness cuts through nicely. You can even dice it up and add it to fried rice or other dishes for an extra burst of flavor and texture.
It's definitely a memorable, very Kumamoto souvenir to take home and share, or maybe challenge your friends with.
Yeah. It definitely carries that unique history and flavor of the region. And places like Murakami are doing a great job keeping the tradition alive while also making it more appealing through interactive experiences and flavor innovation.
Okay, from those unique and bold flavors, let's switch gears and talk about actually getting around Kumamoto with ease. Besides walking, our sources highlight the charming historic streetcars, the shine as a really convenient and enjoyable way to explore.
They truly are a real feature of the city. These iconic trams glide through the central areas, connecting many of the key attractions we've talked about. Kumamoto Castle, Suizenji Garden, the main downtown shopping streets like Shimodori and Kamatori.
And it's not just transport, is it? It's part of the experience.
Exactly. It's quite relaxing watching the city scenery drift by from the window. It slows you down a bit, lets you soak it all in. You'll often hear locals and tourists alike saying, let's just take the shit in. It's part of the Kumamoto vibe.
Love that. And for those planning to hop on and off frequently to see different sites, our sources mentioned there are some valuable ticket options available, like day passes.
Yes, definitely worth looking into if you're planning to use the tram or buses multiple times. These can be a very cost-effective way to travel.
What kinds of passes are there?
Well, there are a few main types, though details can sometimes change, so always good to double-check official info. But generally, you have the basic OFI one-day pass, Ichinichi Jostukan. That's usually a physical scratch card, valid for just the trams on one calendar day.
Okay, simple tram pass for one day.
Then there's often a 24-hour pass, Nijiyoji Kanjo Shiken, usually available via a mobile app, which is more flexible as it's valid for 24 hours from first use. Good if your visit spans across 2 days.
A 24-hour one, handy, app-based, okay.
And then there are the broader Waku Waku passes. These usually come as 24-hour passes too, primarily via mobile app. There are different zones. Zone 1, Kukanshite, covers the trams, plus key city center bus routes, enough for most main tourist spots.
Waku Waku Pass, Zone 1, covers trams and central buses. Got it.
Zone 2, Kukanshite, expands the bus coverage a bit further out. And then there's even a comprehensive Kumamoto prefectural version, Kumamoto Kenaiban, if you're planning day trips further afield using buses or the Kumamoto Electric Railway.
Wow, okay, lots of options depending on your itinerary. Prices seem reasonable too, usually around 500, 800 yen for the city center ones.
Yeah, generally in that ballpark for adults, with child prices usually half, though again, best to check the latest official prices.
And where can you actually buy these passes?
Convenient locations, like the main Kumamoto Station General Tourist Information Center or the one at Sakuranababa Josein we talked about. Sometimes you might be able to buy the simple day pass directly on the tram, but not always guaranteed. The mobile app options are increasingly pushed as the main way, especially for the Waku Waku passes.
Mobile apps seem the way to go then. How do they work?
Usually you download a specified app like MyRoute, Jordan, or QuickTrip, purchase the pass within the app, and then activate it when you first use it. On buses and the Kumamoto Electric Railway, you typically scan a QR code. On the city trams, you just need to show the active pass screen on your phone to the driver when you get off.
Okay, sounds pretty straightforward. Show the screen on the tram. And some passes might offer discounts too.
Yes, that's another potential benefit. Some passes, especially the Waku Waku ones, might offer small discounts on entry fees to certain attractions like the castle or gardens. Always worth asking or checking the pass details for those extra savings.
Definitely worth looking into them. Key takeaway. Check which pass best fits your travel plans and consider the mobile app for convenience. Maybe ask at the tourist info. Sumimasen, osume no travel pass wa aremasu ka? Excuse me, is there a recommended travel pass?
Perfect question to ask.
Okay, and finally, we absolutely cannot wrap up our deep dive into Kumamoto without acknowledging its most famous, most cuddly, most globally recognized resident, Kuma-mon.
Kuma-mon now, yes. You basically can't talk about Kumamoto without mentioning him. A true global superstar and, officially, Kumamoto Prefecture's sales manager and happiness manager.
Sales manager and happiness manager, that's brilliant. He's become such an incredibly recognizable and beloved figure worldwide, hasn't he?
Absolutely phenomenal success story. He was specifically created, as you probably know, back in 2010 to coincide with the full opening of the Kyushu Shinkansen line to Kumamoto to drum up tourism and interest.
And it certainly worked. He's not just a cute face, though. Our sources point out he actually holds a formal position as a public servant, a civil servant of Kumamoto Prefecture.
That's right. And famously, despite appearances, he's officially designated as a boy, not specifically a bear. Though, well, he looks like a bear.
Okay, a boy who looks like a bear. Got it. And his popularity just exploded, didn't it? Didn't he win a big mascot competition?
He did. He won the nationwide Yoruchara Grand Prix, Mascot Grand Prix, back in 2011, and that really catapulted him to national and then international fame. The economic impact he's generated for the prefecture through tourism and merchandise is just staggering. Billions of yen.
Incredible. So if visitors want to actually meet the superstar himself, where's the best place to try?
The absolute best place is Kuma-mon Square. It's like his home base, his office. It's conveniently located in the Satori Kumamoto building, right near the Suizenji tram station in the city center.
Kumamoto Square, near Suizenji tram stop. Okay. What happens there?
Well, he has his office there, the sales manager's office, which you can peek into. And the main event is that he makes scheduled stage appearances there several times on most days. He comes out, interacts with the audience, does his famous Kuma-mon Taiso dance. It's very lively and fun.
You can see him perform. That sounds like a must-do for any fan, young or old. You'd need to check the schedule beforehand, I guess.
Definitely. The appearance times were posted on the Kuma-mon Square website, so check that before you go to avoid disappointment. And be prepared for crowds. It's popular.
I bet. And I can only imagine the sheer volume of Kuma-mon merchandise available at Kumamoto Square itself.
Oh, absolutely. It's Kuma-mon Central. You can find just about anything imaginable adorned with his face. From limited edition souvenirs exclusive to the square, to snacks, stationery, plush toys, the selection is vast. A good place to practice your shopping English. How much is this Kuma-mon?
Haha, indeed. But what's really unique about Kuma-mon, our sources noted, is that you see him virtually everywhere in Kumamoto, not just at the square. Why is that?
That's down to the prefecture's really clever Rakuchi Rakuza strategy, basically. A policy of offering free licensing for Kuma-mon's image to businesses promoting Kumamoto products or tourism.
Free licensing. Serious.
Yeah, with approval, of course. They need to ensure it's used appropriately and promotes Kumamoto. But this strategy means thousands of products feature Kuma-mon, from food packaging and souvenirs to public transport and signage. Seeing Kuma-mon on a product has almost become a seal of approval, often signifying it's a high-quality, local Kumamoto product.
That is brilliant marketing. He's definitely a fantastic example of soft power, isn't he? Bringing global recognition, boosting tourism, driving merchandise sales, all through his undeniable charm and that smart, free licensing approach.
Couldn't put it better myself. He's a phenomenon.
Oh, wow. We've covered so much ground on our virtual trip. Kumamoto Castle's history and resilience, the serenity of Suizenji Garden, the lively Edo atmosphere and food at Sakura Babajosein.
The unique culinary adventures with Basashi at Suginoya, Kumamoto ramen at Kokute, and the challenging Karashi Renkin at Murakami.
Plus navigating the city easily with the shaded streetcars and passes, and of course, our guaranteed encounters with the iconic Kuma-mon.
Kumamoto truly offers such a wonderfully diverse range of attractions, doesn't it? It really seems to blend its rich, sometimes difficult history with the warmth of its people and that remarkable spirit of resilience we kept seeing.
Absolutely. It feels like a destination that holds appeal for so many different kinds of travelers. You know, whether you're a history buff wanting to explore the castle,
Or a foodie eager to try those unique local dishes.
or someone seeking tranquility in beautiful gardens, or just looking for a fun, friendly, memorable getaway with maybe a bit of quirky mascot charm thrown in.
Kumamoto seems to have something special to offer all of them.
This whole deep dive into Kumamoto really highlights how travel can be such a fantastic avenue for learning, doesn't it? Not just about new places, but about language and culture in a really engaging, real-world way, like figuring out those tram passes or ordering food.
Definitely. And it makes you think, doesn't it? About all the other unique regional mascots like Kuma-mon or fascinating local food traditions like Karashi Renkin that are just waiting to be discovered on your own travels, whether it's elsewhere in Japan or anywhere around the globe.
That's a great point. It's a wonderful reminder to just stay curious, keep exploring, and see what unique cultural quirks and flavors you might find next.
Keep that sense of adventure alive.
Thank you for joining us. See you next time.